Hello again. People often comment unfavourably here on the holy book of the Muslims, the Quran. They complain that it contains stories of flying donkeys, that it advocates amputating hands and allowing a man to have more than one wife, among other things. None of these things seem to me to be a problem. Another frequent objection to Islam is that it requires the practice of halal slaughter, by cutting the throats of animals while they are fully conscious. The difficulty which I have with Islam doesn't centre around these things, because both Christians and Jews are bound to follow and obey the same rules. The difference is that Christians don't slavishly adhere to what they read in their scriptures, whereas most Muslims do. Take the question of halal slaughter to begin with. The Old Testament makes it clear that animals must be killed by being drained of blood, that is to say, by having their throats cut. That's why chapter 17 of Leviticus says that you must not eat the blood of any creature, because the life of every creature is in blood. This, of course, is the basis of kosher slaughter, a principle embraced by many Jews. After Jesus' death, the disciples, including both Peter and Paul, and a brother of Jesus into the bargain, met in Jerusalem to decide what the absolute bare minimum requirements were for those who wished to become Christians. A lot of Gentiles were becoming Christians at that time. Circumcision was abandoned because it was thought unreasonable to expect grown men to be circumcised. All the dietary laws, such as forbidding pork and so on, were ditched as well. The only rules which all Christians were bound to follow may be found in what was agreed at that meeting in Jerusalem, as listed in the book of Acts, chapter 25, verse 21. We find that, "For the Gentiles who have believed, we have sent a letter without judgment, that they should abstain from what has been sacrificed to idols, and from blood, and from what has been strangled, and from sexual immorality." In other words, all Christians should abstain from eating blood. That is to say, they may only eat meat from animals which have been slaughtered in the kosher or halal way. I'm guessing that not many viewers will be aware that the New Testament endorses kosher slaughter and makes it obligatory for Christians. Here's the point, though. Although their scriptures command this, I do not know a single Christian who follows this ridiculous rule. Not one. This is because Christians use their common sense, and they don't slavishly believe every word they read in the Bible. This is why kosher slaughter is not a big thing these days among Christians, of course. Reading through the Bible, you can find genocide being approved of, instructions from God to amputate criminals' hands or burn them alive, the endorsement of slavery and polygamy, and 1,000 other weird and barbaric things. This is all mixed in with stuff that is raving mad. For example, I've several times heard people talk sneeringly about the Quran because it contains a story about a flying donkey. That's nothing at all. The Bible has a talking donkey. Just have a look at chapter 22 of the book of Numbers and read verse 27. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it lay down under Balaam, and he was angry and beat it with his staff. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" How cool is that? A donkey that answers back. The one essential difference between Islam and Christianity is not that Christians have a holy book which is as sensible as a dictionary and so makes their religion one which is fit for normal people, while Muslims follow a loopy book which contains a lot which is wicked or mad. No, the difference is that Christians interpret their scriptures in the light of reason, selecting some parts to follow and ignoring other bits which are just silly or wrong. Almost all Muslims, on the other hand, follow their holy book with blind obedience, accepting every single word as being literally true and needing to be treated seriously. This is a deadly error for any religion, and it is why Muslims tend to behave more violently than the adherents of other faiths, because they believe that they are actually obeying the Lord's instructions and that failing to do so would cause them to be in rebellion against God. This is the problem with Islam